And good morning from Wales. It's quite early, sun's out, lovely day, not raining. Carriage sidings depot behind me there. I'm at Machynlleth station today after I did Dovey Junction and that whole video, and I thought I'd just tick off some of the request stops on the Cambrian coastline because it's beautiful. And then I realised that I would have the opportunity to walk over the Barmouth Bridge, and that just means that I get to do a history video and a gorgeous look at the fantastic Barmouth Bridge. So it's a request stop video along with crossing the Barmouth Bridge video, like this. Yeah, it's 8:45 in the morning at Machynlleth, and it's one of those rare services where the train hasn't split here, with one portion going down Bristworth and one going to Barmouth, but the one down from Pwllheli Barmouth comes in on platform 2 here, and I've had to cross the footbridge to go and catch it. It's the 8:52. So looking at my map, down the link below, so I'm going to try and do 4 request stops today, which means I will have to come back and do the other 11 some other time. We'll stop by getting out at Morphetmardach and walk across Barmouth Bridge.
Our next stop will be the request stop of Morphetmardach. Morphetmardach will be our next stop.
Bin bag. There. Excellent. It's a beautiful day. It's a sunny day. I picked the right day. I picked the weather to be a sunny day. I have sort of been here before, but today is the first day I've ever done it by train. As part of my nostalgia old photos, with my old photos from Dovey Junction, I have an old photo here of Morphetmardach, so I'm going to go and recreate that. Yeah, the old crossing that was there is no longer there, so this is the closest I can get. So, station is there. 89 photos there. I was further up there, but there's a crossing that you can no longer get to. When I was here in 1989, I just never actually got on a train, and I have now done it. There's also some abandoned railway here.
Yes, the station here used to be a much bigger junction, as it's where the Rwabon and Barmouth line also came in, but that closed in 1965. But 8 miles of that old track bed has been turned into a trail that you can walk today, which is lovely, all alongside the water. And here at the station you can still see and walk along as well the old platform, which is still very much in place and clearly visible.
The old platform edge is still here. Old platform, all of this, the old platform.
Alright, time to head for the bridge.
Alright, we're on foot, walking away from that station, heading towards Barmouth, and to get there, the centrepiece of today's video, in that I'm going to be walking across the magnificent Barmouth Bridge. You're right by the railway here, by the way. It's like you couldn't be any closer, just this little fence separating the path from the railway. Shall we do the Barmouth Bridge?
The Barmouth Bridge is a Grade 2 listed railway viaduct on the west coast of Wales that spans the estuary of the River Mardach. It opened in 1867, is just over 800 metres long and has a single railway track and is made of wood. Yes, it's the longest timber viaduct in Wales and one of the oldest in regular use in Britain. Trains rumble across it, but alongside is a footpath for walkers and cyclists too. It's part of National Cycle Route 8, and there used to be tolls, but recently this has become a voluntary contribution, as we'll see later. Originally, it incorporated a drawbridge to allow tall ships to pass through, but that later was replaced by a swing bridge, but even this isn't used anymore. The last time it opened for testing was in 1987. The bridge is iconic and has been repaired and upgraded many times during its life. The first time was in 1899, when it was discovered that the iron supports were corroded. In 1906, the timber portion of the bridge was completely renewed, but in the 1980s the timber again was falling foul of marine woodworm and closed for repairs on at least 2 occasions in this decade. After major repairs again in 2005, a restoration project by Network Rail was announced in 2020, with even at one point a brand new bridge being considered. But instead, restoration phases took place with closures between 2021 and the end of 2023, when work was complete and the bridge is now doing its superb job of carrying trains across the water.
Should point out it's not the only way to cross here. There is, over there, on that side, I believe the Barmouth ferry, which I assume, oh, I can see it there, yeah. I was going to say, does it run at high tide or year round? It might be a summer-only service. I'll put a link in the description, but there's the Fairbourne Light Railway, shout out to the Fairbourne, and it goes from Barmouth over to Fairbourne and back, so you can also cross that way. In the distance I can see the terminus of the Fairbourne Light Railway. Well over halfway, almost made it across, but we've got to the what looks like the swing bridge section.
And just after the restored swing bridge is the toll house. I'm sorry, should that be troll house? It's a voluntary donation nowadays, and it was with a bit of good fortune that I did actually have some coins in my pocket, as not everyone does nowadays. And this is one of those rare occasions where you can actually feed the troll.
And I've crossed and I'm out the other side, and the railway lines actually go into this little magnificent little tunnel section here, and then you get to the town of Barmouth itself. Made it to Barmouth, where the nostalgia never ends, because I've got an old photo again from 1989 of a couple of 150s parked up here on either side of the platform. That's what it used to look like many, many years ago. In an act of hilarity, because I hadn't eaten this morning, I was getting breakfast on that side of the railway and the level crossing, and I meant to get the train one stop up that way to go to Llanaba, and then that's a request stop, but then come back, and I cut it too fine. And as I came out of the cafe, the gates had already gone down, and I was unable to get to this side to get the train. And I've looked for a taxi rank, but there's no taxis. But luckily, there's a G23 bus scheduled at 12:33, which should take 7 minutes to get up the road to catch the 12:50 at Llanaba, and then come back through Barmouth and head back south again and tick off a couple of more request stops. So that's hilarious. Welcome to Barmouth. Barmouth's nice. G23 bus from Lloyd's Coaches, although I think I ding the bell and then he didn't stop at the station, so the station is now a 5-minute walk back this way, but when the view is that good, I'm not complaining. It appears to be down this path. We have a station. And I probably wouldn't have made it had the train not been 2 minutes late. It got here at 12:49 and 30 seconds, and the 12:50 is due at 12:52. There's only one thing to do at Llanaba, and that's admire the view. Tick, and Fingal requested as my next request stop. We're right by the water.
And having walked over the Barmouth Bridge in one direction this morning, I was now able to go in the other direction, going back, this time on board a train.
Another request stop. Tick. Lingural. Let's get a nice shot of this one leaving. It's a tiny single platform with 2 station signs and just a dot matrix of shelter and nothing else, and sheep in the field. And what I've got to do is go and get the 1:32 bus, which is a 5-minute walk up the road, and that'll take me down to Abu Dhabi or Penhelig, and I'll do one more request stop there. It's a tiny station with nothing going on, which is why it's brilliant. Hello, this is Penhelig, which I was chatting to some people on the bus, just got off the bus, and they were telling me that Penhelig really is Abu Dhabi. There's Abu Dhabi station, one stop that way, then Penhelig station this way, but sort of Abu Dhabi sort of shops and, you know, High Street is sort of actually sandwiched in between the two stations. Penhelic station itself, though, is sandwiched in between a tunnel down there, which you can see, which is rather fun, and then another tunnel, which you can see back down there. And this is my final request stop of the day, and the 15:15 is coming, and this is my 4th tick request stop of the day. There's a waiting room, which has got weeds growing up in the corner and cobwebs and everything. There is a bin back though. So I'll wait my train, go to Abu Dhabi, and then I can go home. Hilariously, I thought I'd be the only person here. 4 lovely gentlemen on their bikes, they've been cycling for the day, have arrived at Penhelic station, and they're talking about all sticking their arms out, all 4 of them, all at the same time to flag down the driver. I'm worried that the train pops out the tunnel, and at the last moment the driver has to brake. Presumably he'll be going quite slow. So we'll flag down the train and get on the train, and that'll be the end of our day.
Stick your hand out. Okay, Steve. Go. Keith. Duncan.
Excellent. And that may just be the most people, 5 in one go, that I've ever got on at Penhelic station, or maybe the most cyclists, at least 4. 4 is also the number of request stops that I've done today, all ticked off, plus the magnificent Barmouth Bridge.
Towing. Thank you.
I'm hoping it's actually Abu Dhabi, because that's where I'm going, and the magnificent Barmouth Bridge. Thank you, Wells. You've been fun. Press subscribe. See you soon.